As soon as mainstream media's reviews went up for Dragon Age the Veilguard, we knew it was going to be a nightmare for Bioware because almost all of them highlighted the diversity and inclusivity and how that was the focus instead of it being a genuinely amazing Dragon Age experience. But now everyone is starting to question the Journos reviews, how they're using the same pictures, they're using the same wording, and they're also highlighting the same exact talking points, which means they're either written by AI or they all are going off of a script. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I do not trust the mainstream media, and I do not trust critics. When I want to form an opinion on a game, I don't go by what they say. I play it myself. I give it a chance myself because I think it's only fair if I'm talking about a product on this channel that I experience it myself, because a lot of the times the critics and users do not align, and I do not think that is going to happen here because while there are a lot of reviewers who are giving it hundreds, there are some other content creators like YouTubers, for example, saying it's only mid, it's only okay, it's not what they expected, and it's a disappointment. But we now are kind of piecing together a lot of articles, seeing the way that the media is wording their reviews, and it's very freaking suspicious. Now, a big reason why so many people do not trust journalists is because a lot of the times they're paid off, or at least they seem to be paid off, right? They have these perfect opinions as if they're afraid to speak negatively about a product because they do not want to lose access to upcoming games. They don't want to lose access to review codes. And with Dragon Age the Veilguard, most of them are saying that this is amazing because of its diversity and its inclusivity, and they're not really aligning with what gamers seem to think of the preview material that we've seen. Now, maybe when this releases in a few days, all of our opinions will change. Maybe this will truly be a 10 out of 10 game, but when I see critics giving it 100s, but then all of their articles are parroting the same talking points, it just doesn't look good in my opinion. And I do definitely think that Bioware probably gave them a script to go off of, and most of them are too afraid to, speak their own genuine opinions, or maybe this is really how they feel, because we know that the people that work at the Kotakus, the gamers, the Polygons, they are all activists who care more about diversity and representation versus genuinely good storytelling. But Nuri had posted, not that anybody is surprised that BioWare is paying journalists to try and save this dumpster fire, but they should have at least made an effort unto making it seem like they weren't copy-pasted titles, same pictures, and this is something that I had pointed out in one of my previous videos, is that they were all covering it in the same exact way. As you can see, Kotaku wrote an article saying in Dragon Age the Veilguard, this dialogue option lets you declare your character is trans. Gamers Live Plus, never heard of them by the way, in Dragon Age the Veilguard, this dialogue option lets you declare your character is trans. The Gamer, unlike many RPGs, Dragon Age the Veilguard lets you establish that your character is trans, and it even gives you unique dialogue. And I have to say this a lot, I am for as many options as possible for gamers, but they are clearly shoving identity politics into this title in order to pander to a very small minority of people. I mean, they really do not care about what the majority of gamers want, which is a genuinely amazing fantasy experience, because having a character who is, not exactly sure who they are or is questioning their identity isn't really that crazy. If you look at characters who go on a hero's journey, right? They constantly question their actions, why they're doing what they're doing, what they care about, what they're trying to change within the world. And then, of course, they have to look internally and they're looking at how they themselves as human beings are changing. But in this case, my big issue is the modern language, the current day language. Oh, we have top surgery scars. We, of course, have characters establishing that they are trans. We have terms like non-binary being put into this game. There are ways to put your opinions and your viewpoints and also content that you would like into a game where a character might be questioning who they are without using modern day terms. And that is what makes this game woke. That is the issue that gamers have these days. But that is what these activists do not understand. Oh, whoopee doo, you want to sit here and say your character's trans to yourself, okay, whatever. But having it as options, using terms like non binary and transgender and having top surgery scars in a fantasy dragon game is really fucking weird. And I think the majority of people would agree with that. We also can see if you head on over to, Google and Bing and you're searching up Dragon Age the Veilguard, they all are, yes, using the same terminology. Rolling Stones, Dragon Age the Veilguard is a return to form for a beloved RPG franchise. GameSpot, it feels like a return to form for Bioware. Digital Trends, the Veilguard is a return to form for this once lauded RPG studio. Games Radar, it feels like a true return to RPG form. PSU, without a doubt, a return to form for Bioware. So you can see clear as day that they were all given a script and they are afraid to go off of that script. It's so insulting to the very people that they need to read their articles. If you want trust back with audiences, and you want people to have a little bit of faith in you, you would not just be copying the talking points this company was giving you. And this is why so many gamers go over to Metacritics, they see an 84, which yes is positive, and instantly question why these scores are high. We are questioning why Press Start Australia, Checkpoint Gaming, Eurogamer, Gaming Bible are all giving it hundreds, that it's the perfect game, that there's not a game that is more perfect than this. This is why people have an all-time low trust with gaming journos, because they seem to be paid off, or on the flip side, they have these vendettas against certain games and companies like Hogwarts Legacy, like Stellar Blade, because they either do not like creatives who are attached to it, or they feel that it is not inclusive enough, that it does not push a certain message enough, and then they go on a spree trying to get people to boycott those games. These people, these journo hacks, constantly say content creators like myself are awful people for trying to simply give you guys information on titles that, oh my god, they're fighting back against things like diversity that are good. And I do agree that things like diversity are good. I love when people feel that they can see themselves in a story, that they can relate to a character, but it's also extremely narcissistic to only care about the skin color of a character or the hair color of a character or the gender of a character, and that's what you can relate to. And then you have these journos who, yes, do praise DEI over amazing storytelling, who have that as the focus of their reviews. And you can see that right now, all of the mainstream is doing exactly that. They're using the same terminology like it's a return to form for Bioware. They're all talking about how you can make your character transgender and how you can choose your non-binary identity in this. And at the end of the day, we can see that it's just a press release disguised as a review, which is not going to sit well with people. I do not think that things are going to get any better for BioWare or for the Veilguard going forward. I do think that, yes, this will sell because it's got notoriety, right? People know the Dragon Age name. People know it's an established franchise like Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think that that will sell well because of brand recognition. But at the end of the day, with the years and hundreds of millions of dollars that have been poured into these titles, I don't think they're going to do quite as good as a lot of people probably expected, the higher ups at the company expected. So I will be keeping my eye on this, but it seems that everyone's either writing, reviews. I can't even really call them reviews. They're more like press releases with AI, or they're simply coordinated to write the same narrative in hopes of making some positive headway with this game, so that maybe some normies will end up buying it based on the talking points that they are pushing out into the public. But so far it's not going good for them. They are getting absolutely roasted, and well, Here is yet another example as to why you probably shouldn't trust video game journos. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.